Hello, my name is Robert Bramley. I'm a 21-year-old British citizen currently living in Brighton, West Sussex, and this is my online pre-screening interview. So, I first found out about the USEH international program through some pretty meticulous online research, it has to be said, but eventually I found a website called gooverseas.com, which had a range of different programs running throughout. And eventually I chose to go with the USEH program because it looked pretty professional, highly accredited, and I hoped that they could eventually find me a program out there in the end. So, about my family, my mother is from Essex and she's a senior manager at Deloitte, which is an accounting agency. My father, he's from Liverpool and he runs his own business doing white label distribution of spices and condiments around the UK. They both met at a ski resort, and when they got married they moved to Hertfordshire, which is where me and my sister were born. So, my field of study is marketing and sales. Throughout my education, I've always excelled mostly at business. That's from GCSE to A-level all the way through to my degree, which was in marketing and management at the University of Sussex, where I managed to achieve a first-class honours, which I was very proud of. And over the course of my academic tenure, I always did my best to actively seek out work and work experience, which hopefully I'll talk about later and you can see in my resume as well. So, in 5 to 10 years, I'd like to see myself moving up through the managerial positions, staying definitely involved in marketing, but moving down the route of either creative design or international marketing. Specifically, if I was working in a small to medium enterprise, I think I'd like to go into like directorship level in marketing. But if I'm working for a larger company, I'd like to be moving up into management and senior management at that point. So, my work experience, most recently I worked for a creative design agency based in central London, Hackney Wick, and it was called Hey Big Man. They work with big clients such as Capital FM, which is one of the biggest radio channels in the whole of the UK, and also for big companies like Hellmann's, which do sauces like mayonnaise and things like that. They would either design animations or digital print advertisements, which looked very crisp, and there was a very good attention to detail and it was highly precise. My job in there was to do the digital marketing, so I ran the social media pages, maintained the website, did things like MailChimp to really increase the brand exposure and to try and bring in new clientele as well. Before that, 1 year ago, I worked as an intern at one of the biggest nightclubs in Brighton called The Arch. This included me promoting events, posting highlights of previous events, and also creating my own videography pieces for promotional videos. I did two, one of which was on a budget of under £50 and obtained over 20,000 views, which I think is a pretty good return based on the limited resources and budget that I had. And other experience I've had, I've worked as an intern for an electrical component distributor. I've worked at 4-star hotels, 5-star hotels. I've done commis chefing, kitchen portering, bartending, and finally I'm also registered as a director for my father's company. So, my computer skills, I would consider myself as very tech savvy given my age. I have good competencies in Microsoft Office, most definitely. Adobe Creative Cloud, I also have a lot of experience in. And then on top of that, I think that my skills lie within search engine optimization, social media, most definitely. And after that, I have some training in HTML coding as well. In terms of my communication skills, I have a background in the performing arts, whether that was from doing live theatre and Shakespeare and Macbeth and things like this, to more contemporary pieces as well. But this really helped with my presenting in a business context, but also public speaking and projection and other important things like that. Also on top of this, I consider myself quite extroverted, so I'm always happy to talk and engage with people in social situations as well, and I've never had an issue in that respect. So, what's my reason for doing an international internship? I believe that, especially with the United States, I've always wanted to embrace myself in what is considered as a highly competitive corporate culture, and I think I'd like to really get involved in that and try and thrive from it as well. Also, the idea of working and living in another country has always appealed to me. I'd always love to experience new cultures and try different things, so I like to get myself out of my comfort zone and try out different experiences. So my department, of course, is marketing and sales, not specifically, but that is by far my most preferred field. However, considering my background in hospitality and catering, I would consider business management or administration roles or something like that within the hospitality industry as well, if you think there is an offer out there suitable for me. My plans for after, depending on where I intern, I would see if they could actively employ me afterwards, but I am aware that the H-1B visa system is very difficult to get a hold of. So after my completion of the J-1 visa, I have an extra 30 days in the US, so I would use that time to do some traveling and, do some touristy things around the United States that I've always wanted to do. And after that, I would take the skills that I've learned from the United States and bring them back to the UK and hope that it can excel me in my career, and maybe with the intention to return back to the United States one day at a later date. Finally, in terms of the visa question, no, I've been to over 20 different countries in the world and I've never been denied a visa before under any circumstance whatsoever. So that was my pre-screening online interview. Thank you very much for taking out the time to listen to this, and I look forward to hearing back from you soon. Thank you.